right, everybody, how are we doing today? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time you guys are gonna watch this video, so I'll cover all my bases there. This is my second try at this video, actually. I tried to do this last night, and I think I hit the pin a couple too many times because I found myself rambling a tad bit more than I typically do at the end there. And Sober Me even looked up and was like, I don't know if I make any sense right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-record this video and get it out, and hopefully with a little more clarity behind it. But this is our normal preseason video here that will go over the changes that are being made. There's not any changes hardly. It's just a couple of tweaks. We almost went a year without a vote actually, but I mean, I had to throw a vote out there. We gotta have at least one, right? I don't think in the 22 years I've helped run this thing, I haven't come up with something, right? But let's just jump right on into it. The new call-up draft format, it's terribly worded there actually. It's not even a format. Last year we had some issues with on the commissioner side with how long it took to get all that stuff done, and then of course we had some guys who, you know, they go to sleep a little bit early on a Sunday night. They're having to stay up super late. We stretch all time zones, so we have to keep that into consideration. Our lowly guy on the East Coast, he was probably, holy shit, dude, it's 1 o'clock. Like, what are we doing here? And I think that was another reason why we didn't have a ton of people show up to the call-up draft. I know if you're out going into the consolation round, there's still something to play for in the consolation round. So I'm hoping this year we have, and hopefully this fixes it too and helps out. We have everybody participating in it. But we came up with a couple of ideas, a lot of which was a lot of manual work on top of the manual work we already do. The easiest way to do this, and it's going to help everybody out, is that we're just going to cut add and drops Saturday night at midnight Eastern. Essentially, you should kind of know what you need going into the playoffs. You can't make same day ads in this league anyway, so it won't really affect Sunday. But this also allows Mike, Andrew, and I the entire day to plug in the new league. And so that way, when that Sunday night game concludes, we can roll right into our draft. We know the draft doesn't take very long at all. We can get that done, and then Mike, Andrew, and I can go ahead and plug all the players back into our league, and then get the and then get the Monday playoff started for you guys. So I think that's a fair thing to do here. Any complaints on that, just let me know. But we're pretty set on this one. So let us know if you have any questions or concerns there. Again, this is just so we can get this damn thing done quick. It's such a unique thing that we do, and we love it, and we don't want to get rid of it. I think everybody enjoys it, and it makes the playoffs fair. So we just had to make a small tweak to the timing of this. So speaking of playoffs, this is all kind of geared towards playoffs, actually. Playoff IL changes. This was the first time we've kind of seen this happen. Much was just fucking decimated with injuries in the playoffs last year. And we love Much, and he participates, and he brings on a lot of good guys, and leaned a little bit, maybe like letting them have like a little bit. But at the end of the day, we got to keep it fair for everybody. So, we didn't allow him to make any moves in the playoffs, even though he had like 12 dudes hurt. But going forward, we're going to allow it with some rules, of course. If your player is hurt on Saturday or Sunday, we can't help you there, right? You know, you can make the moves and do what you need to, and you have the call-up draft to, you know, get the guy in line. Not a lot of Sunday before the end of the season will guys be placed on the IL. Of course, during the playoffs, though, if that Monday hits and you have a guy get hurt, hit the IL, or the, you know, day-to-day or the week-to-week thing that we get all the time with the strained hammering, we know damn well that dude's never coming back for the season, but the team refuses to put him on the IL. We allow that too, but you'll be able to make the moves to replace that guy. The rule behind that, though, is that, like, if you got a bat that gets hurt, like, you can replace him with any bat you want. It's up to you. If you got a catcher that gets hurt and you have 2 catchers, you want to get another first baseman there, we don't care about all that. It's the pitching side of things. The call-up draft and everything that we do is geared towards not allowing streaming. So if you have a starting pitcher that gets hurt in the playoffs, you can, of course, replace him with the starting pitcher. If you have a reliever get hurt in the playoffs, you replace him with a reliever and not a starting pitcher. A hitter, not a starting pitcher, right? And you guys know why, right? We don't want the lucky draw where a dude loses a guy on a Friday, and then he's like, well, shit, I can get an extra pitcher in there on Sunday. This is wonderful. I lost my 8th bench bat, and now I can get an SP going on Sunday. Not going to happen. So just making sure that we're communicating that too as well. So if you got a guy that goes down, he's going to miss an extended period of time. We don't get the IL designation, and you need to link us a news article. You can do that. We won't go that far, but just let us know, and we can make that change for you guys right then and there. So last year, playoff head-to-head tiebreaker. This is something that we just didn't have in the rules. I had consolidated the rules a lot last year, and I plan on having a very short form like rule doc this year on top of like a more in-depth one for y'all. But we forgot about the playoff head-to-head tiebreaker in the rules, so we scrambled a bit. But we just kind of based it off of everything we've always done for the 21 seasons prior. It's season head-to-head. So if you play a dude once in a season, you beat him 8-6, and you guys tie in the playoffs, boom, you get to advance. In the case of a tie, though, during the regular season, which is possible because sometimes teams only play each other once, or they play twice and they may play to 2-7-7 games, and it's a 14-14 tie. We'll base it off of seeding. It's only fair that the top seed gets to move on. They did the work through the season. They had the better seed. So if a 3 versus a 6 goes down to a tie and the season head-to-head's a tie, 3 advances on. It's more initiative to keep on your team throughout the season and try to finish as high as possible, not just for the first and second round bye, but of course for the playoff tiebreaker. So season head-to-head, if that's tied up, we'll use seeding from there. Formalized playoff rules. So I think when we went from 8 to 6, or no, 6 to 8 and then back to 6, we failed to remember that the consolation winner takes the first pick. We didn't fail there. We remember that. But the rest of the order is determined by regular season standings. That's how we've always done it. We didn't do it like that last year for some reason. Maybe some confusions with the move. Regardless, we're going to go back to the way we've always done it. So consolation winner, of course, take your first pick. That is another reason why our bottom dwellers should be attending the call-up draft. We saw some not last year. That first pick is extremely valuable in this league. It's the most valuable pick in the draft by far because it allows you to reset keepers. Para is resetting again this year. And I don't think we've had anybody not reset for like 3 or 4 years in a row in that first pick. So that pick is massive. So, but of course, say if the 10th seed ends up winning the consolation, they take the number 1 overall pick. 12th seed will have, then the 12th seed in the regular season will have the second pick, 11th, third, so on, all the way down to, of course, the regular season winner gets the 12th pick. So it's what we've always done. New guys, you obviously don't know that we've always done that. Now you know. If you do have a question, let me know. Third place game, so again, when we made that flip from 8 to 6, we thought Fantrax would just automatically have a third place game. But then again, we've always manually entered the playoff games. We didn't last year and just let it automate. And we come to find, and luckily Levi and Much are 2 of the easiest dudes to deal with in a league. Levi probably the easiest because he never cares. Is that Levi set his lineup all week. Much didn't. Levi won the money. I awarded both teams with the little bronze medal, if you guys care about that, just for league history. They tied for third place. It's our one and only tie I think we've ever seen in a place game. So, but we'll make sure that's added. And Mike's actually going to go ahead and just go back to the manual process just to ensure that like the playoffs are completely good going this year. God, this is all based around playoffs actually. The 1 vote, and you guys almost avoided a vote with me, but I can't help myself. No, but for real though, we talked about this in the Commissioner Summit. We're both good. We're all good with what we have in place. But since we did make a big change going from 8 back to 6 again, we're going to revisit that vote just to make sure everybody's good. For the news in the league, we had an 18 playoff for a couple of years prior, and the way that it operated is that first and second place actually got a double bye in the playoffs. Third and fourth place got the single bye, and then the 5 through 8 seed actually kind of played a play-in game to play 3 and 4, and then of course the winners of those games finally went on to play 1 and 2. It sucked because like we had sell teams in the playoffs because like if you're in 7th and 8th place, you don't really know if you're going to make the playoffs. Our races are so tight, so we had people selling, and then they made the playoffs. Also, it kills an extra week of our season because we need an extra week for of the playoffs to work because it's a 4-week playoff that way versus the 3-week and a standard 6-team playoff. And then we already cut off, I think it's 2 weeks at the end of the regular season to get away from the bullshit that happens. Like, in NFL, you don't play all 18 weeks, you play 17 weeks. So you don't have that last week for sits. It's the same thing in here. But 6-team standard, first, second seed get the bye. We get an additional week on the season. It's pretty clear cut. It allows for more sale teams that way as well. And usually the top 6 should be fully loaded and rostered and ready to go versus like your 7th and 8th seed may not. I'm game for whatever. I know the commissioners lean towards 6 over the 8, but if the league's like, fuck it, I missed the 8-team playoff, sure, vote on it and we'll see what happens. So, last but not least, the one thing that didn't revolve around that final 3 weeks of the season, which is shocking, trade execution. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I'm executing trades as soon as the 24-hour rebuttal windows close. There's no sense in waiting another day or two to get a guy over if nobody's going to rebuttal your trade. So if you trade at 1 o'clock one day, the next day at 1:01, I should be able to execute the trade, or Mike or Andrew. We have all day to execute it because it won't count towards your roster until the next day anyways. I will say, though, if you guys make a trade at like 2 o'clock in the morning and then the 24-hour period's done at 2 a.m. The next day, I sure as shit ain't going to execute your trade, and Mike will probably be asleep, and Andrew will be asleep, so we'll get it first thing in the morning. So, but yeah, that's it for the tweaks. Moving on to an idea that I'm extremely excited about. I know the commissioners love this idea. I've actually shared this with a couple of my guys who run football leagues at work. They're going to do this. They thought it was awesome. Is for all my golf enthusiasts, and even guys who don't play golf, you should know what this is. Any sports fan knows what the Ryder Cup is. If you don't, Google it. But I'm renamed it to in honor of my dad, who was a massive baseball fan, knew more about baseball than probably the entire league combined. Sure as shit knew more about baseball, or forgotten more about baseball before his morning shit was done than I'll ever know. But in honor of him, we're going to call it the Father Peck's Cup. Now, the President's Cup, it was, it is what it was. I should have put a little more thought process behind it. I should have run a tester before actually like going a 3-year President's Cup with $150 a team on the line. The payouts were also a little wonky too as well. But we quickly found after the first year that the way that the points are set up, it just wasn't like, you had really no chance of coming back. And we actually had a prime example. Andrew, I believe, finished with just 4 points the first year, and then finished in first place back-to-back years and only finished second in the President's Cup. No offense to you, Ryan. Wonderful back-to-back years finishing in second place. But if you won 2 years in a row, you should probably win the President's Cup, right? And I'm not abandoning the President's Cup altogether. I want to do this Father Peck's Cup this year, and then maybe actually run them coinciding together the following year once I get some tweaks in place with the President's Cup. I don't know. We'll see. Because of that, though, I have not made the belt. There's no sense in me spending $300 on a new belt for something that we may never do again. So, but getting into the Father Peck Cup, this will be for free this year. So everybody will participate because it's fun and it's different and it's free. So it makes no difference if you play or not, because it's all tied into just the season itself. You're playing the game anyways. This is running in the background, just like the President's Cup. If it is a hit and it works and we have everything kind of lined up, of course, 2027, we'll bring it back. We'll throw some money on it. Maybe we'll do Team A pays for Team B's buy-in if Team A loses. We'll see. But the way it works is we'll have 2 captains in place. I went ahead and chose the captains. Ryan will be one since he is our back-to-back runner-up. Plus, he won President's Cup. So, and then the other one will be our reigning 2-time champion, Andrew. Fitting, 2 of the most successful guys in the league the last 2 years. They should be captains. If you guys don't want to be captains, let me know. I'll choose another guy. But the way this will work is once the draft is complete, they will choose 5 guys to be on their team. And so they'll run a snake draft after the draft if they want to. If not, we can do it the following day. It gives them time to look over teams. But and then of course I will flip a coin, spin a wheel to see who's got the right to the first pick, or if they want to choose the snake and hit the second and third pick, they're more than welcome to do that too. It's their choice. But after the draft is they'll go ahead and draft their teams, and so it'll be 6v6. And we talked about the West Coast versus the East. I just think the draft would be a lot more fun to be able to choose your team. And yeah, so and the way it will work is it's just like in a Ryder Cup and just like these like big group competitions in the PGA. There will be a match play weeks, and then there'll be skins weeks, and then we'll have our playoffs too. But here's something that I've added into this. Just like most team-based events, there's what's called an anchor. Once Ryan and Andrew draft their teams, they're going to pick their anchor for the year. Their anchor does not change. It is their anchor for the rest of the year. So it's crucial that you get this right, because the anchor is kind of big time. It's a big deal. And of course Ryan and Andrew can choose themselves as anchors if they choose to. If I'm either in the way that I've been playing the last few years, I would myself. But the first 11 weeks of the season, everybody plays each other once, right? So during those 11 weeks, we call those the match play weeks. Each game would be worth a total of 10 points. So if a player from Ryan's team is playing a team from Andrew's team, not only is the regular season standings and wins on the line, there's also 10 points on the line. The loser gets 0 points. There's no way to lose points in this mode besides the anchor, and I'll get into that. So they'll play like that for the first 11 weeks. I'll keep track of it on my own. I'll have a running spread, something live that can go up that kind of keeps the standings up to date. But it'll only be weeks where Ryan has a team playing Andrew's team. We should see one happening every week, at least one every week. And I actually went back and looked at the last 4 seasons worth of schedules. This will work. So during that 11 weeks, though, the anchor, which has been chosen, has an opportunity to win 15 points per game. But they're also the only team that can lose points. So if Ryan's anchor loses to one of Andrew's guys, then they'll lose actually 5 points off their points total. But if they win, they get 15 points. So I did the math on that. Maybe it adds up. If it doesn't, again, something we can tweak. If you guys have a better suggestion about how the anchor should lose points, if he should lose more than 5, then we can do it that way. But my thought process is the anchor won 1 week and then lost the next week, he'd still have 10 points, but we'd lose 5 points off the team. Now, of course, if they pick a shitty anchor and he just shits to bed for 8 weeks in a row, then you're down 40 points, right? So the anchor is it continues to be very important throughout. Now, once we get to the skins game portion, which is week 12 through, I think we run through week 19, we will go into the skins game. Now, what's a skins game? For those who don't know, basically money's on the line each hole. Money will not be on the line each game. That'd be fun, and if you guys want to do that one day, we totally can, because I'm all for gambling. And I know there's plenty of degenerates in this league that would. But the points that are accumulated in the first 11 weeks, so if Team Ryan gets 200 points in the first 11 weeks and Team Andrew has 180 points in the first 11 weeks, Ryan's bankroll is 200 points. Andrew's bankroll is 180 points. Now, the skins game, you can pick and choose. You have to play all 6 players over the final 9 weeks. And I will say, I looked at it. The worst I saw was Andrew. I did West versus South. For an example, Andrew only played 4 of the 6 guys on the South team last year, and I played 4 of the 6, but everybody else either played 5 of 6 or 6 of 6 of the team. So this will work. The captain will choose whatever they want. So if Team Devin, he can choose them to play whoever they want in team week 13, 14, 15, whatever. But once he uses Devin once, he can't use him again. And then once the opponent he's played is Devin against the last place team, then that last place team can't be played again. So you see in this, the strategery that is going to be at play here. And I, of course, give the captains the schedule well ahead of time so they can kind of map out and figure out where they're going to play guys and match guys up against. Here's the kicker. Ryan will be able to bet on each game. So if, say, we'll use the Devin versus the Josh, right? And Ryan thinks that Devin is clearly going to beat Josh that week. Well, he wagers 40 points out of his match play points. So he's got 200. He wagers 40. If he wins and Devin wins that week, perfect. Devin got the dub. They got 40 extra points. Now they're up to 240 points. But say if Devin loses that week, which I'm hoping he does against me, he'll move down to 160 points. You can bet as much as you want on each week. So technically, we could probably, in the week 12 matchups, if Andrew's like, there is no way this dude is going to lose to this dude, I'm wagering the whole bag on this, he can. But if that dude loses, the game's over. Because if you don't have any points to bet, then you have no money to bet, then they're going to tell you to please leave the table, right? Now, the anchor comes back into play here. The anchor can be used twice during the skins game weeks. So if the anchor is running roughshod over everybody, like, you're allowed to use them again against anybody on the opposing team that is in their top 3. So there's the gamble. So say if you're getting into the final week and say Ryan's got 400 points, Andrew's got 380, his anchor is playing one of Ryan's guys, and Devin can bet as much as he wants on his anchor against that guy, but it has to be their top 3 guys. So no going after the bottom feeders, no going after the guys who have sold a ton. And that's a reason why each person needs to be utilized once on each team, whether it's you're playing against them or vice versa. So, and it will work based off a schedule. If somehow the schedule goes crazy this year and it doesn't work, we can always make a small tweak well before week 12 starts. So now we get into the playoffs. Everything kind of resets. The anchor resets. The point totals stay the same, though. So whatever you have coming out of match play and coming out of the skins game, we'll use an example. Team Ryan has 400 points and Andrew has 380 points. Y'all are able to name a new anchor into the playoffs. So if Ryan's got 3 guys representing the playoffs and Andrew's got 3 guys representing the playoffs, you will pick one of your guys to win it. The guy who outlasts the other anchor will win them the points. The points being you're able to wager, just like in Final Jeopardy, as much as you want in the final question, right? Anybody who's ever watched Jeopardy has seen that. The other captain won't know your point totals until I announce them. So they'll be sent to me. So say if for keeping the argument, Ryan has Devin, he names him as anchor, and Andrew has Josh, and he names him the anchor. Ryan wagers 300 points that Devin is going to place higher than Josh, and Devin loses, then he's down 300 points. But if Devin wins, he gets that 300 points on his total, so he's at 700, just like Final Jeopardy, right? On the other side, if Andrew's like, well, shit, I don't know how much Ryan is going to wager, but I'm going to go conservative here, and I'm going to wager 5 points in the playoffs, so be it. There's the game, and there's the gamesmanship. The gamesmanship between the 2 captains will be crazy from week 12 on through the playoffs. Now, if in the playoffs, here's the kicker, if both anchors are eliminated in the same round, whether round 1, round 2, then no points get awarded to anybody. And we'll go back to the original total that was in there. Well, no, actually, we'll take away the points from your guys. So if they both lose and Ryan's got 300 on him and then Andrew's only got the 5, well, then, of course, Andrew only loses 5 points. Ryan loses 300. Andrew's the winner. High fives for all the teams. Yeah, I think that's pretty unique. So, again, we'll run it this year. It should be a lot of fun, actually. It should add some uniqueness to it. I know what some of you are thinking. Well, like, what if one team just starts loading up a team with trades? Like, if you're really going to kill your season or your trust in the league over this, then you got other priorities, my friend. And also, of course, if there is any wonky ass trades that we see through at any year, you will be torched in the league and we will probably veto it down. So, so just play nicely. Again, this is something that's going to be running in the background. It's something that's fun for the captains. If you guys want to, I know I would love it if my team has a separate Discord channel where you guys can talk strategy during the skins games, talk anchors going into playoffs. And again, if this is cool and everybody loves it and we run it again in 2027, say we do it like, hey, Ryan's team and Andrew's team, the winner has the loser pay their buy-ins for the year, or maybe we put more money on it. And if we love it enough to keep it rolling, then I will make an investment on a trophy that is easily shippable. But yeah, that's it. That is that. So I'll have a write up for this too as well out, so it kind of explains it a little more clear than maybe I just explained it. But once you see it, it's pretty easy. It makes sense. And for me, who's gonna be tracking and monitoring this is simple stuff. So you guys should see the fantasy sales league that I put together for our Fort Smith and Fayetteville campuses. If you're interested, I turned all 55 sellers into a fantasy game. We had teams of 7, and we had it based off of volume, gross margin, new starts, and it went on for 2 months, and it was a rager. They got really unique. Everybody had team names. We're a transportation company, so we had somebody who named their team Post Malodes, and they had a picture of Post Malone sitting on a truck. It was cool. We'll do it again this year. My vice president loved it so much that he actually gave us $3,000 as like a buyout, like a payout, and it got pretty heated and it got pretty intense. It drove sales too. So again, I'm always looking for fun things to do that revolve around fantasy. This is another one, so I hope you guys like it. But with all that being said, real quick reminder: dead period does start. Oh my God, in 4 days. So midnight, Saturday night, we'll walk them all in. Saturday night, Sunday morning, whichever way you look at it. Really excited for the draft. Draft is set for March 21st at 8 p.m. Central. If that sticks, the date will for sure stick because a lot of us are traveling to Dallas for this. And I hope next year we can get everybody out to Dallas and maybe we can get a big ass Airbnb or something. But stop having babies, everybody, in the middle of the season. Yeah, so I'll be traveling down. The only thing to change maybe the time based off of like if Zona's playing or Arkansas is playing or whatever. So we'll revisit that. Just kind of be on the lookout that night between 6 and 9 o'clock. We should know here soon what time the game's going to be. But that may alter the time we start. Sorry, Kyle, if it starts a little bit later. You'll just have to take an Adderall or drink some caffeine. So, like the rest of us. Cool. Hey, I'm really excited for this season, man. I'm really excited to get the banter going. It's in full swing already. I do think what Cal Raleigh did was kind of dickish, but also I like it when my guys are kind of dicks. So that's just me. I love all ya. I'm really excited for this season, man. I'm excited for the new guys going to season 2. I got some cool things I'll be rolling out this year. I got a lot more time this year versus last year, so hopefully you guys enjoy it and it'll be a treat for the league. But with all that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. If not, peace.